This is Southern Cross News with Joe Palmer.
A multi-million-dollar investment will soon connect rural properties in the state's northeast to electricity. The infrastructure upgrade set to unlock the region's dairy potential by bringing down costs and improving energy security.
In the past 5 years, this property in the state's northeast has become an agricultural powerhouse. After switching from wool production to dairy, the farm now manages more than 1,000 cows, but plans to expand hit a brick wall due to astronomical bills, as the entire farm runs off diesel generators.
They burn about 14 litres an hour, so in the summer when we're irrigating 24 hours a day, we're getting through about 1,000 litres of diesel a day.
That will soon change when Agrilac and surrounding properties plug into the grid. The extensive electricity upgrade announced today will charge farms from Scottsdale to Bridport, making power cheaper and more reliable.
We'll see increased investment in both dairying, cropping, even sand mining. It'll lead to investment in jobs.
Starting with Agrilac, a plan to develop hundreds of hectares for irrigation will begin after switching to the grid.
We've got everything in place, we just now need the power in order to build it.
The $2.2 million investment is expected to create at least $40 million in economic activity. The government says the new infrastructure will begin rolling out immediately.
We know that there's a lot of potential farms around further along the Waterhouse coastal area that have got no hope at all of developing without electricity.
Properties in the region will start receiving electricity from early next year. Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
Tezz Network says it's working to improve its systems after being fined $60,000 for 3 alleged breaches. The Australian energy regulator claims 3 customers with life support equipment did not receive the required notice of a planned electricity supply interruption. Tezz Network says the events are regrettable and it's working to improve its process and staff training. The state government is delaying a parliamentary vote on its Taswater takeover because of the Pembroke by-election. The government has been pushing to take control of the council-owned water utility with claims of a crisis. The upper house was scheduled to vote on the plan later this month, but that's now been deferred until after the November poll. Tasmania Police has renewed calls for public assistance regarding an alleged armed robbery at the Elwick Hotel on the 24th of September. Police say the alleged offenders may have travelled in these vehicles around the Greater Hobart area late Sunday afternoon or evening. A 19-year-old Risdon Vale man has already been charged with a string of offences in relation to the robbery. Investigators are urging anyone with CCTV footage of either vehicle or occupants to contact Crime Stoppers. Tasmanian authorities are preparing for the bushfire season ahead. A fuel reduction burn was started at South Arm today. It's one of several being conducted across the state over recent weeks, with the aim of reducing bushfire risk and intensity. Another burn is planned depending on weather conditions at Eaglehawk Neck tomorrow. More information on current burns can be found on the Fire Service website. Trainee firefighters made a visit to the Royal Hobart Hospital this morning, brightening up the day for some little patients. The exercise, one of the last before the new recruits put their training into practice.
These trainee firefighters making a special trip to the Royal Hobart Hospital. Today's first stop, a visit to 10-year-old Dryden.
How much calls do you have to do a day? Like, do you have to stand next to the car 24/7?
The young patient went into hospital on the first day of his school holidays. Mum Tara says the visit has brightened his experience.
This is the biggest smile we've had since we've arrived.
We've been training really hard to be the best contributors in the community, so I guess it really represents us giving back.
The new recruits start with their brigades in 5 weeks. Today, a chance to interact with the community.
It's good to talk as a team about the responsibility we have, I guess, as folks in that uniform.
Well, a large part of our work is understanding that there's always somebody more important than yourself, and just appreciate that what some people go through is quite difficult for them to deal with.
This round, more than 1,000 Tasmanians applied for a job with the TFS, with only 15 making the cut. The new team may have just convinced a future firefighter on his career path.
Because it sounds really fun to save people and be on the news.
Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
Tasmania Police is trying to bolster the number of women in the service. Currently, only 32% of officers are female, but a new recruitment campaign is targeting the next generation of law enforcers.
These Year 12 students are taking part in a police career development program. Today's team building exercises, just a small taste of what life is like at the police academy. Sophie Taylor has her eye on a career in the police service.
Yeah, I've always wanted to. It's been in my family. My mum's been a real inspiration into wanting to do it, but I just love the aspect of helping the community and being real hands-on.
Tasmania Police is now launching a series of videos to drum up this interest.
When I joined the police department, I knew that I really wanted to work my way through the ranks.
Louise O'Connor is one of those on the front line sharing her story and encouraging other women to join up.
I had to change my 5-year plan as it would when I found myself a single parent, and I guess what my video celebrates is that I am supported in this organisation to go on and achieve the career goals that I've set for myself.
But police say entry into training courses will still be based on merit, and recruitment is open to men.
This is about encouraging women within the community to apply and join that pool, and the selection process is based on a fair and equitable merit-based system that continues through.
Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
Unions from around the state have ramped up calls for the federal government to include 10 days of paid family and domestic violence leave into the national employment standards.
Let's face it, it is easier to escape violence when you have money. Financial and employment security is absolutely critical to women escaping and men escaping family and domestic violence.
Unions Tasmania says it will continue campaigning for the change for as long as it takes. After operating out of 2 demountables since 1990, Launceston's Northern Suburbs Community Centre finally has a new home. The multi-million-dollar building in Newnham will continue to provide community services with extra facilities from the centralised location.
It's under those core goals, from our Learner Driver Mentor program to eating with friends, to everyday literacy, working with young mums.
Nearly 700,000 Tasmanians are served by the state's neighbourhood and community houses each year. 6 young Tasmanian students have placed 12th in the world at the F1 in Schools final. Queechee High School's Golden Diversity team arrived back in Launceston today, emotional and exhausted after spending 10 days in Malaysia. The competition saw the girls make their own miniature Formula One car and race it against the best young engineers from around the globe.
We came 12th place out of 51 teams, and we also picked up the Sportsmanship Award while we were there. I'm really grateful for the opportunity. It was actually an amazing experience meeting teams from all over the world.
Launceston College's Envisity team won the World Finals Team Sponsorship and Marketing Award. 2 Tassie boys have raised almost $4,000 to help those fighting motor neuron disease. Kobe Arrowsmith and Oscar Bishop's granddad and great-uncle, Graham Crooks, was diagnosed with MND in 2015. The cousins have raised the money in honour of him as part of Tassie's Big Freeze event.
We just want to do it because we're so close to our family.
We're just so proud of them both. They kept on moving the goalposts every time they reached a target, and this is how far they've come, so it's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm very proud of them. Being it's my dad with the disease, we've learnt so much since he was diagnosed.
Kobe and Oscar will now participate in Launceston's Big Freeze in the Avenue on Saturday. The event will include a guest appearance by AFL great Neil Danaher. 6 friendly Labradors have put their best paws forward as they were taken today for a test drive by some of Guide Dogs Tasmania's youngest clients. The organisation says young people often don't experience living with a 4-legged companion, but it wants to change that.
Since Emma Jago was 9.5 months old, she's been vision impaired. She's never had a guide dog, but after today, she hopes that will soon change.
Having a cane kind of sucks. Like, everyone just kind of looks at you like you have something's wrong with you. Whereas if you have a dog, everyone's like, oh, that's so cute.
Emma was one of 6 Tasmanians today given the chance to take the young labs for a test drive.
So at a time when all their peers are getting out there and learning to drive themselves, we're giving these guys a licence for independence by actually showing them what a guide dog's all about.
For many participants, they'd never had any experience with a 4-legged companion. They were taught how to groom them and how to control them.
Phoebe, upstand. Good girl.
We've recently grown our guide dog training team and increasing the number of guide dogs that we've got, and we're really excited that means that we're going to have more available for vision impaired Tasmanians.
4 people are currently on Tasmania's guide dog waiting list. 4 new puppies are expected to arrive around Christmas time, and Guide Dogs Tasmania says it's always looking for more puppy raisers.
We've got 22 working guide dogs at the moment, and we're hoping that that's going to grow in the next 12 months.
Giving more vision impaired Tasmanians a helping hand and a furry friend.
If you get lost together. Whereas if you're lost with a cane, it is not very comforting.
Monica Dadson, Southern Cross News.
Tasmanian artists aged from 13 to 25 have been given the opportunity to have their artwork on show at the Tasmanian Museum and Art Gallery. 25 young people are involved in the arts initiative Make Your Mark, where they have collaborated with older artists to create their work.
They consult with the young people around the theme of the project. This year the theme is home, and really draw out what is meaningful to those young participants in their local environment.
The art is on show until the 22nd of October. Now let's take a look at the day's business and finance news with thanks to Tasplan, your local super fund. The share market has closed weaker as all sectors outside of telcos lost ground. The ASX 200 index has dropped by 27.9 points. A short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at just under 78 US cents and 66.62 euro cents.
Tasmanian Tigers captain George Bailey says the side's batting order needs to up its game following yesterday's loss to New South Wales. Jordan Silk was the only player to notch up more than 50 runs as the Blues did it comfortably at the Wacker. Following a massive pre-season full of personnel changes and organisation restructures, the Tigers were desperate to start their domestic campaign off with a bang. Instead, the Blues dished them up a reality check.
I think we probably missed our lengths a little bit to start the day. A little bit full at times, a little bit wide at times. Just gave the New South Wales boys a bit of a flyer.
Chasing 316, Bailey fell on 11 after his top order went in quick succession before him. Jordan Silk, the best of the bunch with 55, but it wasn't enough to resurrect the innings, with the Tigers all out in the 39th over, going down by 102 runs.
I certainly didn't feel like we were out of the chase. It was just about someone from our team probably going on and getting a big score. We're certainly going quick enough there at the end, so it was just a matter of having some more wickets in the shed.
The side take on Victoria at the Wacker tomorrow. The Hobart Hurricanes have been given a massive boost ahead of the upcoming WBBL season, with star all-rounder Georgia Redmayne recommitting to the side. Redmayne played a crucial role with the bat and the keeper's gloves last season, scoring 278 runs in 14 games and completing 12 dismissals behind the stumps. 2 more big names have signed on for this year's annual charity football match, Relive the Rivalry, with Essendon great Dustin Fletcher and former Carlton forward Brendan Vavola also now on board, joining the likes of Matthew Richardson and Paul Williams.
Mate, it obviously means a lot. The bigger names, the better, obviously, to try and get people to come along with the game. Obviously, being based in Launceston, we've opened the door statewide for everyone to have the opportunity to get along.
The event has raised more than $50,000 for muscular dystrophy over the past 3 years and gets underway 5:30 Saturday afternoon at UTAS Stadium.
Good evening. Hobart 19 degrees today, Launceston and Burnie 16, Devonport a top of 15, Fingal the high with 21 as we attempt to kickstart spring a month late. Still shaking off the cold nights though, Lyawini a -1 to be the lowest. The northwesterly stream brought a couple of showers too to the west, but not much anywhere else. Campania 20 degrees, Friendly Beaches and Bushy Park 19, St Helens and Grove 18 today, Wynyard 16, Lowhead, Strawn and the Islands 15. Middle level cloud has parked over southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales, bringing lots of rain and isolated thunderstorms there. The frontal cloud is over the Southern Ocean and southern WA, and most of the mainland remain clear. Our cloud was mainly over the Bass Strait, the north coast and western areas. Tomorrow, the front moves away to our east. A broad area of low pressure lies over much of the mainland with multiple low pressure zones across the continent. Winds southwest to southeasterly at 10 to 20 knots, reaching 25 knots over the east in the morning. A drop off around midday before a swing around to the southeast-northeast in the afternoon. Swells in the west and south to 3.5 metres. Into the midweek forecast, rain at times for Hobart, a top of 12, 11 for Geeveston, bit of rain for Bothwell, 13 the maximum. An afternoon shower possibly for Launceston, 19, bit of cloud for Devonport, a cool day and 15 degrees, 17 the top for Cressy. Partly cloudy for Burnie, 15 the maximum, a few showers in the west and on King Island, Strawn 15, Curry 17, and for St Helens, an afternoon shower, 16 the top, just 14 for Swansea, rain at times for Orford and 13 degrees. There's the UV for tomorrow in the moderate range. On Thursday, patchy rain extending statewide, increasing in the west and south in the afternoon. Finally, some rain forecast for the east with a bit more on Friday and a bit of a clearing shower on Saturday with a fine partly cloudy day expected. Sunny in Perth, Melbourne, Canberra and Alice Springs tomorrow. A late shower over Adelaide, 27 degrees there, and a possible shower for Brisbane. Clear conditions, 16 at the moment in Hobart, 13 in Launceston, Devonport currently 12 degrees. Joe, obviously your Tigers merchandise has arrived. Donna's a bit upset though. They've run out of stubby holders. They've sold out.
Stubby holders. Yes, I do like my Tigers dress. Thank you very much for that, Murph.